From the Bushlight Studios, this is ESPN 95.3, KERX Paris, Fort Smith.
Are you sure this is legal?
I don't know. It's fun though, isn't it?
Live from the Bushlight Studios.
I love Arkansas. I love everything here. Give me that thing here.
On your favorite Arkansas sports talk station.
And this one belongs to the Razorbacks.
Streaming live from
HitThatLine.com.
Fans are amazing. It is lit down here on the sideline.
This is Halftime with Phil Elson, Matty T, and Drew Barrett.
My calculations are correct. When this baby hits 88 miles per hour, you're going to see some serious...
Here come the students. Oh, here come the students. They're coming from the south end, and this one has been a long time brewing.
I have been waiting for this moment for a long time.
Judging by the sound of it, so has everyone else.
Hey, hold on. It's almost halftime.
Well, it's a travel day for us here on Halftime, at least for me. In Dallas right now. Woke up early in the morning. Morning show hours. Drew Barrett's already been up for quite a while because I heard you on the morning rush before 7 o'clock.
Yeah, Mr. Richardson made me get up and join him at 6:30 this morning.
I think you
appreciate that, but
I think he needs to be referring to you in the Mr. sense. You're the one who's doing the traveling this time. That's right. Yeah. Matty T holding down the fort. It's good to be with you today. I'm headed down to Austin for the women's basketball tournament that will start tomorrow afternoon for Mike Neighbors and his club taking on the Utah Utes. Of course, it's going to be a late night for all Razorback fans. We got the start of the madness. Really, we got the start of the madness in 14 minutes. And I've got CBS right up here in front of me. You got Colorado and Michigan, Colorado State and Michigan that will be kicking the whole shebang off. So, I mean, the first thing you ought to do is really just remind everybody to get in your picks because you only have another 13 minutes to still enter our Hit That Line bracket contest and win all sorts of different prizes. So, I mean, I hate to, start the show with a push for the bracket contest, but when you now have less than 13 minutes to do it.
When else are we going to do it? You got 10 minutes. You got to start
now or never. Now or never. Got a chance to win the $975 Razorback couch from the Stadium Shop. If you got the best overall bracket, you can change your picks with each round. That's one of the cool things about this. 65-inch smart TV from Buy Right Auto Sales. Round 6, you get a $150 gift card from National Auto Trim in Harrison. Just go to hitthatline.com. You see the bracket challenge link at the top of the page. Click it. Make your selections in 12 minutes or less, and you're entered. So do it now, and keep listening to the show while you're doing it, too.
Oh, Phil, I just had a tradition unlike any other happen 2 minutes into March Madness. I already feel sick to my stomach. I already saw the Mario Chalmers shot from 2008. It's right there on the screen.
Well, it happens every year.
Every year to start out,
right.
they do and every year when they go through one shining moment at the end, I have to see that shot that robbed me of my childhood in San Antonio. As a 12-year-old, I officially became a cold-hearted man because I realized that day that joy and hope and wonder was all out the window.
That was your moment. That was your worst moment in sports life. I know that for a fact. That was your Ernest Biner fumble at the goal line. That was your Falcons 28-3 choking against the Patriots. That was your Pirates Braves 92 NLCS, like you and I have talked about a few times. And that's one you don't recover from until you win the whole shebang. So we'll see if that happens for your East-West Memphis Tigers this year.
I doubt it.
Probably
I don't
not.
have them doing it.
Hey, the Razorbacks have a little bit of that one shining moment mojo. If you just think about guys that have hit big shots, even one that clinched a national championship, assistant coach Keith Smart, you see that shot every single one shining moment. The corner bucket against Syracuse to win the '87 national championship, and Devo Davis at I don't think it was close to a buzzer beater, pretty darn close to a buzzer beater in the Sweet 16 game against Oral Roberts. So all these great moments that we can remember, and of course we're just going to crush Drew's soul anytime that anybody mentions Mario Chalmers. If you just want to do that,
it happens over under a good 15 times through the next 3 weeks. Every time, and it feels like I can never catch it right. Like I'll see the open going, and I'll put my head down. I'll go, okay, it's probably passed. I look up and there's a shot. And I'm just like, no, got to relive it. Just got to relive the pain. But time to make new memories as the madness does start
Better
today.
memories.
I am here, of course, where I've been all week here at Anchor Bar, 1047 Main Street, right here in Buffalo, the home of the original Buffalo Wings. And I've met some Hog fans today. They are showing up. Met a great guy, Rob, and his son. They drove in from Oklahoma. Got here yesterday, and they're ready to see the Razorbacks not only win today, but advance on Saturday and make it to San Fran. They're having a good time.
You had a pretty decent contingent at the games in Indianapolis last year. Of course, that was a tournament where everything was as centrally located as it's ever going to be. Things a little bit different this time around. And, I mean, let's just face it, the two cities that the Hogs will be playing in, if you do get to the Sweet 16, are pretty far flung from Buffalo to San Francisco. So I hope that there is a good contingent because I'm not quite sure if the Hogs have ever been called in the city of Buffalo before. That would just kind of be a nice thing to hear for the first time ever.
It will be today.
I'm sure it will be today. It's just a matter of how loud, exactly how loud. So you got to feel pretty good about this opportunity today. We'll talk with Bob Holt about the matchup with Vermont. Bob focusing on his piece in the Democrat today about their ability to hit the three-pointer. They average nearly 9 three-pointers per game. And, of course, three-point defense was a problem for Arkansas in the early portion of the season, not so much recently, although maybe in that A&M game, a few more open threes than you like. That's like that's the only game that I can remember recently that the Hogs really didn't play good defense from start to finish. You kind of had a tough half here and there. They were always able to bounce back and put together a good defensive half after that. But I think it's going to be difficult for Vermont to score on the inside. I kind of chuckle a little bit when I hear one of the Vermont players talk about that they think they might have an advantage to score in on the post against Arkansas, who happens to be – look, I mean, it's not like the biggest team in the world. I know you'd like to have another 6'10" or 6'9" Gurr guy like a Jalen Williams down low, but it's a team that's got some size still. You know, you're basically sometimes going 6'6" across unless you're minus J.D. Notte, and they've been a little bit difficult to score on the inside against. And Jalen Williams is as good of a post defender, maybe not necessarily like a shot blocker or a rim protector, but I don't think that they're going to have an easy ability to score in the post, because what Drew has this team done the best this year is control the lane. Even when they were struggling to shoot from the outside and defend the outside, they still controlled the lane on both ends of the court. And for me, like, I understand in this day and age in basketball, it's like in baseball, you got to be able to hit home runs, right? In basketball, you got to hit three-pointers. You got to defend the three. Though the Hogs have won a game this year without hitting a three-pointer, and we did a whole bunch of that 2 months ago in the South Carolina game. You still have to be able to control the paint and be able to get to the rim and rebound. And that's something Vermont has done very well against the America East. Going up against a team like Arkansas that's done the exact same thing in the SEC is a whole different ball of wax.
Oh, it definitely is. And you talk about controlling the lane. That's something they've been able to do all season long, not just throughout this winning streak, but even in the slow month of December and November when teams were putting up, 8 to 15 threes on them a night. They were still able to control the lane. Now they've gotten the three-point perimeter figured out. Defense has been one of the best three-point defenses in the country since the calendar turned over. And that's why when I was sitting in the press conference yesterday for Vermont's players and, typing up quotes and just tweeting some things out, when Ryan Davis, their forward, said that we've got to be ready to play their fast pace, but they're not a big team, and we think we have opportunity to score down low. Man, was that Twitter gold to my ears? Because I knew, and especially with Arkansas Twitter, I was like, I typed it up, I pressed send, I said, y'all get after him, and they definitely did. I think that tweet had like 400 likes. It had like close to 60, 70 comments below, a lot of quote tweets about it, and Arkansas fans did not take that very lightly, and I don't think Jalen Williams and Kamani Johnson will take it very lightly either. They're going to make sure that they control that lane, that they're able to rebound. Now, Coach Becker of Vermont was a little bit more humble, a little bit more coach speak yesterday, talking about, He gave Arkansas some great compliments, saying, it's going to be a really tough one going up against one of the best teams in the country tomorrow, saying that in order for us to pull off this upset, we're going to have to play really, really, really well with 3 reallys in there. And, we're going to have to be able to shoot, rebound, and try to keep up with their pace. And that's really where this game is going to be decided. Who controls the pace? Who controls the speed of the game? If you allow Vermont to slow it down, if you allow it to turn into a half-court pace game instead of using the full court and being able to outrun Vermont, because Arkansas can. I mean, Vermont is a very slow-pace, slow-it-down team, while Arkansas can run the floor. They can hit threes in transition. They can drop it down low. They can play the slow-pace game. I mean, we've seen them do it before. But they obviously want to control the pace of this game, and by doing that is speeding Vermont up and making them rush. Because if you let Vermont swing 4 or 5 passes around a possession, well, regardless of how good you are defensively, you throw enough passes around, you work that shot clock down to the final 10, somebody's going to get open and get a good look. So that's the real thing. You've got to pressure them in to shooting the ball early in the shot clock and keeping them on their toes, not letting them kind of dig their heels in and slow pace you.
Well, and getting ahead of them early instead of what we'd seen last year where you're falling behind by double digits in the first 6, 7, 8 minutes. You want to try to speed up a team that doesn't want to speed up, get ahead of them by 10 points instead of trailing by 10 in those first 6, 7 minutes. And then you start to see a team that might press a little bit. Vermont doesn't turn it over. There's 2 things Arkansas can do as well, aside from just get the lead, which is so simple to say. 1, rebound. Rebound well and get that outlet going. Get it to JD and start that fast break immediately. And if we're able to turn them over, which doesn't happen much, only 6 other teams committed fewer turnovers per game in Division I basketball than Vermont. But again, I just don't think they've faced a defensive team like Arkansas. So, JD, if Likes is out on that court, you're going to go after the basketball. I think they'll have a chance to steal a little bit. And there's another way to get the fast break moving.
Another easiest thing also, just like we talked with Alyssa Orange, and I know Vermont's going to do this. They're going to attack JD. Wherever he is, they're going to go after him, and they're going to try to get him to foul trouble. Like Alyssa said, you show me the box score, cover up the scores. If JD has less than 3 or less fouls in the game, that means that he's stayed out of foul trouble, and that means Arkansas wins the game. So you better believe Vermont's going to try to expose that, try to make Chris Likes get in that game early.
Thoughts on this ball game tonight? What you got? 877-377-6963. We will take your calls and texts up until 1 o'clock. And again, Bob Holt will be with us bottom of the hour. We'll talk some St. Louis Cardinals with Kaite Woo from The Athletic, the Cardinals beat writer at The Athletic, in hour number 2. Drew is in Buffalo. Maybe you're headed out there right now to watch the game and be part of the Razorback Nation calling the Hogs for the very first time ever in the city of Buffalo. If anybody's got any evidence of that ever happening before, of a Hog call in Buffalo, just let us know about it. And our coverage is brought to you by Oaklawn Racing Casino Resort Sportsbook, Big Red Stores, and the Arkansas Scholarship Lottery, where they're giving away over $1 billion in proceeds, providing over 650,000 scholarships for Arkansans everywhere. And stay tuned as halftime continues after this.
ESPN 95.3 and hitthatline.com.
Live here at Randall Ford, 5500 Rogers Avenue in Fort Smith, here with Nolan. Nolan, you were telling me about it's been a difficult time for car dealerships the last 2 years or so when it comes to being able to bring in the supply with the amount of demand you guys get. But the great thing that you guys are doing at Randall Ford is you have a unique setup which allows you to special and custom order vehicles or to someone's liking.
Absolutely. You guys, instead of having to come out here and just settle for what we have out here on the lot, one of the unique things that have happened since COVID and microprocessor shortages and that kind of thing is we give you the ability to call in and build in the exact vehicle that you want, the colors that you want, the features that you want, and then within weeks we can get that vehicle delivered to you brand new here at Randall Ford. We've been able to get this done because between Ford Corporate and Randall Ford, we've been able to get you guys set up. Guys, you know where we're located at. Fourth oldest Ford dealership in the country, 24 hours a day at randallford.com.
When you want beer, you go to a bar. When you want top shelf spirits, wines, handcrafted cocktails, and cigars, in an atmosphere benefiting a destination, you go to 906 Cocktail and Cigar Lounge. Try our new menu items including fish and chips, classic club sandwiches, Caesar and Cobb salads, or stick to your favorites, dine in or carry out. Enjoy our state-of-the-art air filtration system, 906 Cocktail and Cigar Lounge, defining nightlife in downtown Fort Smith. Doors open at 4 Tuesday through Saturday.
COVID-19 cases are spreading across the state. Safe, effective, and free COVID vaccines are now readily available for all Arkansans ages 5 and up. Booster shots are also available for fully vaccinated people 12 and above. The vaccines are highly effective at preventing severe COVID. That means helping keep you from being hospitalized or even dying. Get vaccinated to protect yourself, your family, and your community. Learn more at healthy.arkansas.gov. This message brought to you by the Arkansas Department of Health.
My property is disgusting. Who should I call to clean it?
You can call me, Mike Van Jr. My company, Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash, is a full-service power washing business with over 15 years of residential and commercial experience here in the River Valley and Northwest Arkansas.
Looking at your website, mjmobilewash.com, your home cleaning includes fence, driveway, gutters, pool, and more. Plus, you work with companies like ArcBest and Randall Ford.
Yeah, Ty. My team removes dirt, grime, mold, and more. Call me at 479-763-5561. Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash. One call, cleans it all.
Evans Body Shop wants you to know that you are now able to get the repair process started on your schedule. With just a few clicks of your cell phone, you can send photos and your vehicle information directly to our shop. We will respond within 24 hours with a detailed estimate for repairs. It's that simple. We are here for you. Visit our website for all of the details. We offer complimentary pickup and drop-off as well, and extra steps are being taken to ensure your car is returned as good as new and completely sanitized.
Evans Body Shop, where we meet the nicest people by accident.
Stop by your locally owned TGI Fridays in Fort Smith, where it's happy hour all day, every day. $4 cocktails, $5 wines, and $2 draft beers. It's free to join Fridays Rewards. Get free chips and salsa or $3 off any appetizer. And this weekend, get the madness kicked off with 25% off party platters and family meal bundles to go. Just go to Fridays.com to order. It's your locally owned TGI Fridays at I-540 and Rogers in Fort Smith.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3. On the road to the Final Four with the Hogs is brought to you by Oaklawn Racing Casino Resort Sportsbook, Arkansas Scholarship Lottery, and Big Red Stores of Arkansas.
Imagine me and you, I think about you day and night. It's only right to think about the girl you love and hold her tight. So happy together. If I should call you up, invest a dime, and you say you belong to me and ease my mind. Imagine how the world could be so very fine, so happy together. I can't see me loving nobody.
Make sure to follow Halftime on Twitter at HitThatLineAR and on Facebook and Instagram at HitThatLine. Follow the guys on Twitter at PhilElsonPXP, at Matt Travis, and at DBarrett36. Now, back to the guys. Here's Phil Elson, Matty T, and Drew Barrett.
All right, if you haven't gotten your picks in on hitthatline.com now, you are fresh out of luck. The game has started and Colorado State has hit a 3 a minute in. You couldn't have got you wouldn't have been able to get your picks in right after tip-off. That would just before the referee stepped out there and threw that ball up in the air, your last opportunity. So you are screwed if you haven't gotten onto hitthatline.com and be part of the fun. You want to be part of the fun, don't you?
Oh, of course. Everybody wants to be in.
Let's see. We got some text coming in here. Some folks want to do. Jody wants us to do a segment on what is a catamount. I'm not sure.
I told you that could go real south real fast.
He wants wrong answers only, but
that's why it'd go real south real fast.
Maybe later on in the afternoon. But you can send us, what you think a catamount is. Doesn't mean we're going to.
We're the good boys of radio. Remember?
It is a European mountain lion. Let's just put it that way. So I'm not exactly sure why Vermont, which is in the United States, would choose a European mountain lion as their mascot, but they did. So no problem with that. Calvert and BE are really excited about the Arkansas baseball team's bats that have woken up with, what is it now, 5 games in a row, double-digit run totals.
Did we get a grand slam yesterday?
No, they had a couple of opportunities, too. You had a first-inning bases-loaded chance, and you didn't get a grand slam out of it. Unfortunately, you did not get your 4th game in a row with a granny. But I'll tell you what did happen with the bases loaded in the first inning yesterday. And that's why it's like Calvert. Calvert is. I texted back to him saying these last 2 games against Grambling don't matter, and to me it's different than what happens in the non-conference games against Eastern Illinois or against Illinois State or whomever. Grambling just doesn't play fundamental baseball. I mean the simple things. When the bases loaded were in the first inning yesterday. And Brady Slavens comes to plate. When you look in the box score, it would look like a line drive double hit by Brady Slavens. But what did he do? He had a pop-up that the third baseman misplayed, and it landed right behind third base. He got zero glove on it, so they scored it a double instead of an error, which is really what it was. And, it was a complete comedy of errors yesterday, so I can't trust the 13 runs and the 14 hits and all of that. Plus, you had pitchers that literally, Drew, we saw a pitch yesterday at 59 miles per hour. So,
wow. That is I after 2 shoulder surgery and an ACL on my back leg, can still throw faster than 59 miles an hour. And I remember when I was an SID and was the official scorekeeper of the game, had to make those rulings, having those weird plays like that where you have to talk it out, and it's like, well, he reached second. Nobody touched it. It didn't go off the glove. So it's not an error. But, can you really credit, right in there, double to left?
Yeah, I understand.
When it barely made the grass. There were some of those plays that well, that's what you have to do. I'm like, but that's not telling the story of the game.
Well, the other
that's not telling you
the
what
other
happened.
3 errors they made yesterday were pretty routine errors. And the last 3 plays of the game for the final run, the run rule run, were a ground ball to shortstop booted, a ground ball to third base booted, and a game-ending passed ball, the third passed ball on them for the whole game. So I don't care about – for me, the only thing that mattered in the games against Grambling is that Arkansas pitched well enough, is that you had guys out there that needed to get some innings. They got the innings, and I was going to say nobody got hurt, but Grambling made such bad throws that their first baseman tripped up 2 Razorback runners. So
what was the official game time for the run rule?
3 hours and 28
Still
minutes.
Took 3 hours?
3 hours and 28 minutes to not quite finish 8 innings. That's how ugly of a 10 walks. Ooh. That's how ugly of a game it was.
Arkansas was at the plate for a long time with that one.
Win 8 in a row. I don't care who it is you beat. You got to score more runs than the others, even if they hand them to you on a silver platter. We will see what happens.
You say thank you, sir, and you move on.
But we'll see what happens against Kentucky on Friday, because that's a better ball club, though certainly not one of the best in the SEC.
They got destroyed by Indiana.
They sure did. Tuesdays, though, you're not going to worry too much about that.
As CCR says, Tuesday's gone with the wind, or is that Leonard Skinner?
I believe that's Skinner.
That was Skinner.
Skinner. Yeah, Tuesday's gone with the
wind. Much different sound.
Yeah, it is.
Talk about a much different sound. I wonder if Eddie in Clarksville sounds different than he did on the Morning Rush, because I heard his call in the Morning Rush. I got a text from him. I got a text from Eddie after his phone call in the Morning Rush, and he said he was going to be calling the show in 13 hours. And it's definitely
13 hours.
It's definitely not been 13 hours, because that would be probably around the same time that Arkansas arrives at Key Arena for the game today. So I'm not quite sure what show you were planning on calling, Eddie, but you have called halftime, which I think was your idea. So what's going on?
Good day, gentlemen.
Good day.
The dance has started. But I got a question to ask you, gentlemen. Is the team ready to play tonight?
Well, then I have to answer that question. If you're going to ask a question, I'm going to have to answer the question.
He's trying to get on the roll, Phil. Don't stop the train from going down the track.
No, you can't ask a question in the first portion of your whole thing and then
it was a hypothetical
question be
answered. You didn't need answers.
Were they ready to go? Do you say they weren't ready to go against A&M? I don't know if you put it in those terms. They just didn't quite have the energy. Like the coaching staff's going to have Vermont figured out as far as how you got to do it. It's energy. It's buying in immediately and doing what I think this team should be able to do, which is just out-athlete the Vermont Catamounts. All right, Eddie, I answered your question. You can continue.
Well, sir, we had a tremendous year last year in football. And Coach Pittman came out with a slogan, turn the jukebox up. And if we forgot the jukebox back in Fayetteville, there's still time to go get it and bring it to Kaite Arena.
I know, but we're mixing our sports up. Eddie, now we're mixing our sports up a little bit. Let's just worry about the Must Bus without the jukebox. I'm sure Coach Pittman.
I'm pretty sure there's a radio on the Must Bus.
There's got to be a radio, but
or at least an aux cord.
I mean, everybody's got their own jukebox now. If you've got an aux cord, right, or you got your little Bluetooth connection. So I'm sure they've got some songs ready to go on the Must Bus. I'm sure Coach Pittman's going to be watching the game, unless maybe you can hitch a flight with athletic director Hunter Yurichek and get up there for this one
Hunter's
too.
Already here. I saw him.
He's already there? All right, so never mind. So we're mixing up our sports a little bit, though, here, Eddie.
Well, sir, I went to my sock collection. I found it fitting, against Auburn at home, against Tennessee, against Kentucky, the Phil Collins song, the great hit. I can feel it in the air. Well, I'm starting to feel it. I'm off the team that's feeling it. Because rest assured, that performance he put up against the Aggies, are you listening? You want to get you beat. You have to match that intensity. The Catamounts have nothing to lose and everything to gain, and they're coming to beat you. Are you going to be the smiling assassin, Jalen Williams?
Man.
No day.
Eddie's got it dialed up to 11 today. He's got it dialed up to 11. This caller goes up to 11. But, Eddie, I'm just going to finish the call here with a question for you. Do you smell what is in the air tonight?
Well, sir, I'm starting to smell it. But I went to my song collection this morning, and I kind of like the song by Queen, and that was a great hit in 1977. We are the champions, and we will fight to the end. And I'm asking the team to come out and do a little dancing and fight tonight at Kaite Arena and bring the recipe to Buffalo.
Eddie, I appreciate the
Pretty
phone
early
call,
to break
man.
out. We are the champions in the round of 64.
I know you're not a champion just yet, but I was trying to lead you into the whole in the air tonight thing that you love so much with Phil Collins. I thought maybe you'd answer you smelled the Hog Delight being cooked in the
set him up perfectly.
I tried to set him up with a softball, and Eddie swung right through it, but that's okay. I appreciate the 11 out of 10 today. And, Eddie, thank you for listening to our show. We're brought to you by our friends at CJ's Butcher Boy Burgers, hiring right now in Fayetteville and Russellville. Great place for burgers, fries, and shakes. Maybe even a better place to work. Just go to butcherboyburger.com, find the careers link, and get your information going right there. You can also find CJ's Butcher Boy Burgers seasoned patties being sold in Harps along with their seasoning too. CJ's Butcher Boy Burgers. When all you do are burgers, they have to be the best. And speaking of the best, Bob Holt joins halftime next.
Well, I've been waiting for this moment for all my life.
See more and do more in a new 300 Series compact track loader from New Holland. Its industry-leading 360-degree visibility is truly something to see at Williams Tractor in Fayetteville, Berryville, and Bobcat in Northwest Arkansas. With its reverse camera and 8-inch multifunction LCD display, super boom lift technology, rock solid stability, and redesigned controls.
Support for the Hit That Line Podcast Network is brought to you by Manscaped, who is the best in men's below-the-waist grooming. Manscaped offers precision-engineered tools for your family jewels. Manscaped recently launched the Ultimate Men's Hygiene Bundle, the Performance Package. Join over 4 million men worldwide who trust Manscaped with this exclusive offer to you. 20% off and free worldwide shipping with the code HTL at manscaped.com. If my math is correct, that's about 8 million balls. And my family jewels just got added into that number because I just got my new Performance Package 4.0. And let me tell you what, guys, it is a game changer. If you're like me, you've tried other ways of daily grooming, of staying in shape, of when that time is right, you know what I mean, of how to make sure you look good down there. You've tried the razors, you've tried the knockoff brands, but it does not compare to what you're going to get in the Performance Package 4.0 by Manscaped. You're going to get the Lawnmower 4.0 trimmer. You're going to get the Weed Whacker ear and nose hair trimmer, the Crop Preserver ball deodorant, Crop Reviver toner, Performance boxer briefs, and a travel bag for all your goodies. Trust me, I didn't think there was going to be a product out there that was going to make it safe to go down there. But with the Lawnmower 4.0 and everything else that comes in this package from Manscaped, you're going to be shaving and grooming so much safer. Get that 20% off and free shipping with the code HTL at manscaped.com. That's 20% off with free shipping at manscaped.com and use HTL. Unlock your confidence and always use the right tools for the job with Manscaped.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
Now that's a dandy white perch.
Big old slab. C'est bon, sacalé.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouth.
Some serious crappie.
Nice speck.
We got crappie.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite white perch, slab, sacalé, paper mouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
Jason Aldean says there's only two means of salvation around here that seem to work: whiskey or the Bible, shot glass or revival. He doesn't want to be stuck in these two ruts. He needs something in between to fulfill his dreams. Hebrews 7:25 says, Jesus is able to save completely those who draw near to God through him. Don't trust your spiritual strut or placing your butt in a church pew or bar stool, because all three will lie to you. I'm Pastor Heath from Woodland. Think about it.
It's that time of year as college basketball takes center stage with the tournament finally upon us. If you're looking to wager this year, BetOnline is the #1 spot for all your updated odds and info, along with great contests, including the bracket contest, where you can have a chance to take home the top prize. Head over to the website or use your mobile device to sign up today and receive your 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. Just use our promo code BELIEVE to get started. That's BLEAV. BetOnline is your
Find us on 99.5 and 1290 in Northwest Arkansas, 95.3 in Fort Smith in the River Valley, 96.3 in Hot Springs in Central Arkansas, 104.3 in Harrison and Mountain Home, and everywhere on hitthatline.com. Now, back to the guys. Here's Phil Elson, Matty T, and Drew Barrett.
Bob Holt is in the city of Buffalo, New York, and there to cover Arkansas men's basketball in the round of 64 and hopefully the round of 32 and then points beyond for the Arkansas Democrat-Gazette. Bob, we always appreciate your time. Thank you so much for it. How's Buffalo treating you?
Well, it's pretty nice. I think we got a real break on the weather. It's sunny. I'd say about 60 degrees. It was a pretty nice day yesterday. So, you know, even in March, you think about Buffalo could be pretty cold, but nice sunny skies and pretty decent temps. And the area seems pretty excited. I mean, between being St. Patrick's Day and having the NCAA tournament in town, it's a lot of people here in Buffalo enjoying the downtown area.
Well, that's where Drew is, too, just in a certain side of it right now that I think is a little further away from where you are. So you write in the Democrat today about maybe the best opportunity for Vermont to beat Arkansas or at least put up points, and it's antithetical to some of the things I heard their players talking about. Ryan Davis thinks they can score on the inside. I don't think they'll find that very easy because the SEC also had trouble doing the same thing. The outside, this is a team in Vermont that shoots 36% long range, almost 9 3-pointers per game, but has Arkansas fixed their three-point defense over the last couple of months? Because they've defended much better the three-pointer in conference play.
Yeah, I mean, there's some good stats in the notes about the first 15 games, and they were 10 and 15 and had that stretch where they lost 5 of 6. I mean, opponents were hitting over 36% on the threes, and they were hitting a high volume of them. There were some teams like Northern Iowa and even Gardner-Webb, I think, that hit quite a few threes, and then in SEC play, and they really shored that up. I think part of it was just getting Audice Toney on the perimeter and getting Trey Wade in the lineup. But, they defended the last 18 games 29%, so pretty significant difference. But A&M was able to exploit that. They hit 8 out of 15 against Arkansas in the SEC tournament, hit 6 in the first half when A&M really got control by 12. Arkansas never led. And so I think you look at that A&M game as a bit of an aberration. Arkansas, the last 18 games have been really good. That game was an exception. But, I mean, to me, that just gave Eric Musselman and the coaching staff a chance to, get – we can go out there and just, we're going to defend the three like we have been if we don't.
It sounds like Bob's having a little trouble with the cell reception out there. So we'll keep with him in a moment and try to reestablish the connection. I want to ask him about where does Ryan Davis think the soft spot defensively is on the inside? We've watched this Arkansas team close up.
You didn't know what he was coming from, really, why he even brought that up, because he talks about, they're not a big team. And, I mean, technically, yeah, when you look across a large landscape of college basketball, 353 that play in Division I basketball, they're not the biggest, but they're bigger than Vermont. I mean, that's the thing. Like, it's not like Vermont's walking out there with 6'11", 7'2" guys.
Yeah.
I mean, Jalen Williams is bigger than Ryan Davis.
It's like a little bit of a lazy scouting report unless Davis is just trying to, give an answer because he feels he's got to give an answer in some sense.
Mm-hmm.
Bob, we were talking here for a moment about where could Ryan Davis see a soft spot defensively for Arkansas on the inside? Because maybe they don't have all the height in the world, but man, when did this team really develop their personality? It's when Muss put in a bigger lineup, and it's guys like Wade and Kamani Johnson and that are 6'6", 6'7", and play a physical brand of defense. Where did he see this soft spot that he thinks?
Well, yeah, I'm trying to remember what he said exactly, but I think what he said was it was going to be hard to go on the inside, and that's why they were going to have to be, doing well from the outside. I know John Becker, the Vermont coach, said what's real important is for them to handle the ball well early in the shot clock, not turn it over. Obviously, one, they don't want to lose the ball, and two, they don't want to give Arkansas, live ball turnovers lead to fast break points. But what John Becker said was that it was important to handle the ball early in the shot clock so they basically don't lose it and they're able to work, around for a good shot. They've got a pretty skilled team, shot the ball well, but, of course, playing, they dominated the American East. But that playing American East competition is different than playing SEC team like Arkansas. But, they both beat Northern Iowa early in the year, and Vermont gave Providence a pretty good game. They Big East champion, lost by 10 there, lost by 10 at Maryland. So they played some big schools like Arkansas. But, I think they're an older team. They're pretty skilled, and a lot of it's going to be if they can hold up against Arkansas's pressure.
Yeah, and they are older, but I still feel like Arkansas comes in with way more experience. I mean, they get to the Elite Eight, and last year, don't you think the tournament experience, even though they're technically younger age, will be more beneficial than having your 4- and 5-year guys who have never been in a tournament for as long as Arkansas did last year?
Well, yeah, I mean, Arkansas's got an interesting mix because you obviously have guys like, J.D. Note and Jalen Williams and Devo Davis that played in the tournament for Arkansas last year. Then you got Chris Likes, who played in the tournament for Miami. He's a freshman. Trey Wade played in the tournament for Wichita. So they've got, I think Eric mentioned the guys that have played 300-plus minutes in NCAA tournament games. And Vermont's got some guys who were on their NCAA tournament team in 2019. But it's interesting. There's going to be, assuming the lineups, they start the lineups projected, there's going to be 9 seniors in the starting lineup between the two teams. The only non-senior will be Jalen Williams, who's a sophomore. So there's a lot of experience out there, and some of that's due to COVID. Vermont actually has a sixth-year player, Ben Shangu, hopefully I'm saying his name right. So there's a lot of college experience, on both rosters.
Yeah, there definitely is. And Bob, I wanted to ask Musselman this yesterday, but he kind of covered it, in a roundabout way of talking about how these are student athletes. That's why we went to Niagara Falls. They need to get life experiences. It's nice to be in Buffalo. But what's been the biggest difference this year than last year, where it was all centralized in Indianapolis? Everybody was playing, in 4 or 5 different arenas within an hour of the state capital of Indiana. Oh, does it feel like it's more laid back and relaxed this year, regardless of COVID and everything, of just kind of feel like it's back to normal and, everybody can kind of breathe now?
It's definitely closer to normal. Of course, I didn't go to Indianapolis last year, and, you couldn't sit close to the court. Everything was on Zoom. I know some people who went and covered the tournament who got COVID. Thankfully, it wasn't serious. I know some people who weren't able to get on the Zooms. They were in Indianapolis, and they were not able to get on the post-game Zooms because of power outages. And I know guys told me they could barely read their notes because they were sitting up so high in some of those arenas, and it was dark. So, and of course, the players and the coaches were in a bubble. They basically were forced to stay in their hotels. They had I think the AAA, maybe they got to go out and get an hour or two of outside recreation. I think I was driving Eric Musselman up the wall. And this year, being back here, our seats are back on the floor. We're wearing masks, which is fine. I don't have a problem with that. But we're doing in-person interviews. Locker rooms aren't open. We can do the press conferences. It's not Zoom. And, the play, like they were able to take a field trip, I guess you call it, to Niagara Falls. And, Eric was able to take them out on a boat, a yacht, more like it in Tampa. So they're able to do some stuff. So, I think this is a much better experience, for everybody.
Well, they had the experience of giving everybody a heart attack in just about every single game during the tournament last year, Bob. I mean, you can understand that basketball's a game of runs and that every game could have the feeling of a roller coaster. But, I mean, man, last year was like riding the Magnum every single time you got on the basketball court and consistently falling behind by 10. We just kept saying that's not the recipe to keep moving on, but they found a way to pull it off. I mean, is this a team that we could potentially see the same thing? I know it's a different makeup, and there are some holdovers from last year, but it is by mostly a different group.
Well, yeah, I mean, obviously they didn't come back against A&M when they got down big, but really during this winning stretch where they won, I guess, 15 out of 18, a lot of those games that they were down late. I mean, you think about at LSU they were down 8. Beating LSU and Baton Rouge and Fayetteville, I think they overcame like 7-point deficits in the last 6 or 7 minutes. They were down late against Auburn, I think by 6 or 5, rallied to force overtime and won. They trailed A&M twice in overtime in Fayetteville and won that game. They trailed Florida, I think, by 8 in the second half. So they've had a history of coming back. Now, you don't want to get too far down. Of course, last year they got down early to Colgate and they had a big comeback and won that by 18 or whatever it was. But, yeah, it's a team I think it definitely feels confident, even coming off that A&M game. And sometimes a loss, if you're in the NCAA tournament, sometimes a loss isn't a bad thing. It can kind of get you refocused and show everybody that, hey, you got to bring your A game every time or you're going to get beat or you can't get beat. And certainly, there's really, Vermont's good enough to beat a lot of teams in this tournament. Vermont really plays well, and that team maybe has an off day. They could beat Arkansas or UConn or Providence or Iowa, the power teams that are here. And so, I mean, I think Arkansas's got the ability to come back, and it is a game of runs, but you don't want to get too far down and you get yourself in too much trouble on that end.
Bob, I think Buffalo, I think the city of Buffalo has the longest title drought for a city with at least 2 major sports teams. I know the Sabres have never won. The Bills have never won. And boy, the Bills and Sabres have both come close. So that's what I take away from Buffalo as a sports city. I mean, they've got some hardcore fans, but they have to be hardcore because they haven't won a championship in, like, forever, or if ever.
Yeah, I guess I didn't know what to say. I knew the Bills, obviously. They've gotten to the Super Bowl several times, not been able to win. I guess, was it 5 straight losses in the Super Bowl? 4 or 5, I lose track.
4.
I know this sounds, maybe I hope people don't think this is loser mentality. You've got to be really good to lose 5 straight Super Bowls because that meant you kept getting to the Super Bowl. And I think a lot of the time, certainly the first one, they lost to the Giants when the field goal missed at the end for the Bills. I mean, I think a lot of times the Bills probably were good enough to win those games. They just, got waylaid by some really great teams like, Dallas and San Francisco, and maybe I think Washington beat them one time. The NFC just had stronger teams. But, yeah, Buffalo's a really good sports town. I think they've embraced the tournament. Matt Zimmerman talked about this. He came here with Missouri in 2010 and had a really good experience here. I get that it's not, super glamorous. It doesn't have a beach or whatever, but it does have a lake, and, I think it's a really good sports city.
Bob, always appreciate your time. Enjoy the games, and we'll be reading your coverage in the Democrat Gazette and on WholeHogSports.com.
Okay, appreciate it. Take care.
Thanks,
Appreciate
Bob.
it, Bob.
It's Bob Holt, Democrat Gazette. Coverage in Buffalo is brought to you by Big Red Stores. Never pay full price for gas again at your neighborhood Big Red Store with Big Red Rewards. Hey, Drew, just speaking of those 4 Super Bowls in a row that Buffalo lost, and we were speaking earlier about the heartbreaking moments for cities that nobody ever forgets. Mario Chalmers for you, Francisco Cabrera for me. Why don't you want to make some real friends in that bar that you're sitting at right now? Put down your headset and scream at the top of your lungs, the legacy of Scott Norwood will live forever. It was Norwood who missed that field goal.
I'm not doing that.
Wide right against the Giants. Go ahead and give it a shot.
Nope.
And it'll be the last thing we ever hear from our friend Drew Barrett.
I like Buffalo, and I like these people. They're nice, but I don't want to antagonize them.
We'll wrap up the first hour after this.
It's time to get in the game, Fort Smith. Hi, Coach Larry Rath here from Rath Auto Resources. I'm a maniac for March basketball, but if I'm going to catch all the games, I need your help. So I've cooked up a 3-point plan to help you rebound from your old ride. 1, pick the perfect car for you from our huge inventory of Rath Road-ready vehicles, each one hand-picked and inspected in our Meineke Car Care Center. 2, pass me your old ride. 3, I'll come in with the assist and give you up to $3,300 more than appraised value. So if your old ride makes you feel second string, slam dunk your junk and start driving better today in a nicer, newer car from Rath Auto Resources. Keeping the car you have? Get it ready for spring in our Meineke Car Care Center with a free AC check, half-off brakes, and buy 3, get 1 free on all tires. But hurry, this deal's done at the buzzer. Only at Arkansas's favorite used car dealer, Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center, 4515 Towson Avenue, Fort Smith, or online at rathauto.com.
Credit requires bank approval. Vehicle purchase price determines actual trade allowance. Negative equity may be refinanced. Offer absolutely ends March 31st, 2022.
Looking for something a bit lighter for lunch or dinner? Art's Barbecue and Burgers has added blackened or grilled tilapia to the menu with all of your favorite sides. If catfish is what pleases your palate, every Friday night is all-you-can-eat catfish at Art's Barbecue. Art's Barbecue and Burgers has it all for your lighter lunch or dinner or your weekend pig out. And don't forget $1 off all burgers every Saturday. Call 452-2550 for to-go orders. Art's Barbecue and Burgers, Rogers Avenue next to Buddy's in Fort Smith.
Spring is here and Breeden RV is having the first sale of the year. New inventory is arriving weekly and is immediately priced to sell. Just like new Keystone Springdale starting at $164 a month. Need something for your toys? Breeden RV has new toy haulers starting at $239 a month. And don't forget about the exclusive maintenance for life on all new RVs. Breeden RV also has the best selection of pre-owned RVs in the River Valley, fully prepped and ready to camp. Give the service department a call at 479-262-2418 and get your RV ready for a great year. Breeden RV, where adventure begins. See dealer for complete details.
Get back in there at once and sell!
Locally owned Lumber One can handle all of your building needs. They've built their business on having great relationships with everybody from contractors and builders to the everyday build-it-yourself. Lumber One is a full-line door shop to handle all of your door, window, and trim needs. And along with lumber, roofing and drywall products, attic wall and floor insulation is available. Lumber One also does blueprint takeoff with access to design services with estimates available. So go where the pros go. Lumber One, located on Industrial Park Road in Van Buren.
Springtime is around the corner, and River Valley Truck Outfitters is here to get your vehicle ready. Window tint specialty, WeatherTech accessories, and more. Ask about the residential tints and commercial tints that are now available. Springtime is near, and River Valley Truck Outfitters will get your vehicle looking good on Highway 71 at the top of Rye Hill, where you can get special wheels and tires and more. Your one-stop truck accessory store, 648-8855. That's 648-8855.
Hi, I'm Kelly Smith, owner of Dixie Digital Imaging. Would printing from your phone or tablet make your life easier? Are you emailing files to yourself so that you can print them from your desktop or laptop? The Xerox VersaLink and AltaLink lines of network printers and multifunction printers will natively print using your phone's built-in capabilities. Apple AirPrint and Google Cloud Printing just work. To order yours today, give us a call at 783-6600 or visit dixiedigital.com. Dixie Digital Imaging, bringing document innovations to the River Valley.
In a day and age of global business, sometimes it's nice to have a friendly professional close to home and on your side. First Western offers exactly that when you're getting a home loan. Their mortgage professionals have over 100 years of combined experience in this market to help you navigate the mortgage process. Contact First Western today at 479-936-2040 or firstwestern.com/mortgage. First Western is your local community bank and would love to walk you through the home loan process. First Western is an equal housing lender.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3. On the road to the Final Four with the Hogs is brought to you by Oaklawn Racing Casino Resort Sportsbook, Arkansas Scholarship Lottery, and Big Red Stores of Arkansas.
Don't rock the jukebox, wanna hear some Jones, 'cause my heart ain't ready for the Rolling Stones. I don't feel like rocking since my baby's gone. So don't rock the jukebox, play me a country song.
You're listening to Halftime with Phil Elson, Matty T, and Drew Barrett. Want to jump in the conversation with the guys? Call or text into Halftime at 877-377-6963.
Guys being dudes.
I realize I probably made the wrong pick on this Michigan-Colorado State game. I picked Michigan to win.
Did you take Michigan?
Should have gone with Colorado
why?
State. Well, the only reason is I should have gone with Colorado State because it's St. Patrick's Day and one of their main colors is green. I told you I'm not doing. I didn't,
unless it's Vermont.
Not doing any research with this stuff. Didn't do any of it. The whole idea of why making the pick, why to make the picks on hitthatline.com was to get it done as quickly as possible, and the whole law of diminishing returns. There's too many other things to do in the day during March when it's ridiculous crossover season to be researching this and that about potential matchups that may never happen anyway.
I guess. I mean, if that's the way you want to look at it, if you want to lose, go right ahead.
Oh, I can lose.
I think I spent 10 minutes. I only spent 10 minutes on mine this year. Actually, 5 minutes.
I only spent
went
2
first
minutes.
Gut, and that's why I hate.
Well, then
wow.
Matty just won.
Okay.
Matty beat us both.
Unless somebody that works here only went 1 minute.
Well, there might be one or two people back there that might have done it in 1 minute. I'm not sure.
I'm enjoying looking at each person's bracket and seeing who has Arkansas going the furthest. And I believe that
who is it so far?
Currently, I believe it's Clay Henry who has Arkansas going to the Final Two.
Well, that would be quite.
Is that what you call? You got the Final Four. And then
it's the national championship.
The national championship.
Yeah, we do all the alliteration for Sweet 16, for Elite 8, and for Final Four. Nothing for two. Not the terrible two. The tap dancing two.
Tremendous two.
The tremendous two would be even better.
He thinks the tremendous two is going to come down to Arizona and Arkansas, the big A's. But he thinks that Arizona is going to pull out the big win against Arkansas for the national championship.
The battle of the postal codes.
You heard it here first.
According to Clay Henry.
Hates the Hogs. Clay hates the Hogs.
He thinks Arizona's the one team in the country that's better.
Well, that means he hates Arkansas. He's an Arkansas hater.
Yeah.
He must hate him. Must hate him with white hot passion, right? Yeah. Hey, we just got an email from.
He likes Texas now, apparently.
I love that I'm on the USFL mailing list because I really need to be up to date with the next minor league in football to go out of business, which of course the XFL will too at some point, and then the USFL will eventually follow them. But guess who is back? You have a couple of former Razorback assistant coaches that are going to be defensive assistants with the Birmingham Stallions, Corey Chamblin and John Chavis is back in not middle school football, or I don't remember what the level was that he coached after he left Arkansas. I think it was middle school, somewhere in Tennessee.
Couldn't have been higher than middle school.
Well, he is the defensive coordinator and linebackers coach for the Birmingham Stallions. So who's to tell him? Who's to say that football passed John Chavis by? He took a couple years off. He coached kids. It's like a movie. This is just like the Sean Payton movie. This is exactly like the Sean Payton movie. It's just starring the Chief, who's now going to be coaching in Birmingham. And that, you know what that means? He's actually going to be the only defensive coordinator that is coaching in the city of which his team is named for, because all 8 teams are playing games in Birmingham this year. That's it. Like the city. I think the league is doing something in Canton. They're doing one thing in Canton at Tom Benson Stadium.
All the games are in Birmingham?
All the games are in Birmingham. Have fun. Birmingham's a fine town.
Birmingham's a terrible town.
No, it's not. I like Birmingham. I mean, you know why I like Birmingham? Probably because I haven't had to live there at all. I just go there for the SEC baseball tournament, and it's fine for that.
Well, that's Hoover, Phil. You're not even in real Birmingham. The only thing good about Birmingham is there's Rickwood Field, the oldest
I love
baseball
Rickwood.
field, baseball park
the AA
in
park
America,
downtown is very nice.
Yes, but outside of that, it's not that great. I've never been very impressed with the Birmingham of Alabama.
I always feel like I could get accused of murder just for accidentally shoplifting a can of tuna.
In Birmingham. It might happen anywhere, depending on what part of the city you're in.
I did get that my cousin Eddie reference there.
It's Vinny, but close enough.
Because I did. Or my cousin Vinny. Dang it!
Oh, that's right.
So close.
Yeah. Well, that wasn't Alabama.
Because I didn't get the one earlier the week. So.
Well, hey, we just brought up reasons to like Birmingham for baseball, and that was it. And of course, you don't like anything else about it. But it is the center of minor league football for now with the USFL, and the one and only John Chavis back as a defensive coordinator. And, yeah, I guess
when they bring the showboats back.
They got a couple of football fields there in Birmingham, 2 or 3, maybe 4. It's going to be interesting to see if anybody goes to those games. But, hey, watch Birmingham win the whole darn thing because they're the only home team. And that's all the USFL you'll hear on halftime until the end of time. We're moving into the second hour right after this.
For a dependable, fuel-efficient tractor from a company committed to the future, choose a Branson tractor. Each of our tractors is backed by a 6-year limited warranty with models available ranging in horsepower from 22 to 58. You are sure to find the tractor that is right for you. Make sure you call or stop in today at the new location for Bush Tractor at 6100 South 0 Street in Fort Smith. Again, that is 6100 South 0 Street in Fort Smith. Or you can check them out online at bushtractor.com.
Michelob Ultra Organic Seltzer opens like every other seltzer, pours like every other seltzer, but it's not like every other seltzer. USDA certified organic, no added sugar, and low cal, so you've never seen another seltzer quite like it. And with new refreshing flavors like black cherry and watermelon strawberry, you've never tasted one like it either. Michelob Ultra Organic Seltzer, as real as it tastes. Enjoy responsibly, not a low-calorie food. Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Organic Seltzer, IRC Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Riley Farm Dental at the entrance to Riley Farms provides every type of dental care and procedures for you and your family. From general dentistry, braces, implants, and cosmetics, Dr. Bo Sparkman and Dr. Brogan give all of their patients better lives with a better smile, more confidence, and a comfortable experience every time. Riley Farm Dental, 5901 Riley Park Drive, Suite A, at the entrance to Riley Farms. Call 226-3500 for an appointment or visit RileyFarmDental.com.
This is Bruce Stanton, Vice President and General Manager of Pradco Fishing in Fort Smith. Our #1 volume lure out of our 20 fishing brands is the Bobby Garland Baby Shad. We make them by the millions in our facility in Fort Smith, and the Baby Shad is without a doubt the #1 soft plastic crappie lure in the U.S. Fish it on a light jig head or underneath a float, and you'll find it's as productive as live bait. Available at Walmart, Bass Pro Shops, Academy, LureNet.com, and tackle stores all over the place. The Bobby Garland Baby Shad.
Harry Robinson Buick GMC wants to buy your vehicle, and they'll pay top dollar today. Pre-owned car values are at an all-time high, and your car is worth more today than it ever will be again. If you are driving a 2013 model or newer with 120,000 miles or less, bring it to Harry Robinson Buick GMC, and they will pay you more for your trade. Even if you don't want to buy a new car, they will still buy yours. Harry Robinson Buick GMC, exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
For today, plenty of sunshine. Our high temperatures this afternoon into the middle 70s. Our next disturbance knocks on the door tonight with showers, a chance of thunderstorms, and an overnight low in the low 50s. Occasional showers, a few thunderstorms on Friday, falling temperatures throughout the afternoon. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
The weather is brought to you by Come Get You Some, Arkansas's premier off-road superstore. Call 782-MUD today.
It's fast. It's exciting.
KERX Paris Fort Smith. This is halftime, coming at you from the Busch Light Studios on ESPN 95.3. Live from the Busch Light Studios.
I love Arkansas. I love everything here. Give me that thing here.
On your favorite Arkansas sports talk station. And this one belongs to the Razorbacks, streaming live from hitthatline.com.
Fans are amazing. It is lit down here on the sideline.
This is Halftime with Phil Elson, Matty T, and Drew Barrett.
My calculations are correct. When this baby hits 88 miles per hour, you're going to see some serious...
Here come the students. Oh, here come the students. They're coming from the south end, and this one has been a long time brewing.
I have been waiting for this moment for a long time.
Judging by the sound of it, so has everyone else.
Hey, hold on. It's almost halftime.
Moving along into hour number 2 on halftime. Phil Elson in Dallas. On my way to Austin, Drew Barrett in Buffalo, where he has been set up for the last couple of days. And Matty T holding down the fort. I've commandeered my cousin's apartment in Dallas to do the show today. It's a good thing that that Nate, who is in his residency to be an ENT specialist, lives here right in the middle of downtown Dallas with all the other well-to-do or soon-to-be well-to-do 27 to 32-year-olds. And it's got a nice little place here to do a show. We've even got some wall art. And I got to go
to the back porch if you're there in Dallas.
Now, is his house like really, really close to all of his neighbors' houses?
It's an apartment building, so yes.
One thing I noticed about Dallas, there are these really nice houses, but they have like no backyard space at all. Like they're all just stacked right next to each other.
Zero lot places.
Yes.
Yeah, I'd say the backyard here is more of a middle court with 2 trees in it. That's about it. That is about it. And he's not charging any rent for this. He didn't ask to get any trade for this. He just said, "Come on." He's from Boston, so he just come on and sit down, and we'll and you can talk sports.
And he's got the coffee flowing.
Well, I think he's going to work out because he's got.
Is it the Duncans? He's got to have the Duncans in, doesn't he?
I guess he kind of would. That's right. It's nice to have cousins in far-flung places like Gainesville and like Dallas, places you can do a radio show and just kick back for a while and not worry about anything. Tomorrow I'll just figure things out for tomorrow because tomorrow you got women's basketball at 4:30 against Utah in the first round of the women's side of the NCAA tournament. And I should be able to stay in the hotel for the show and then get to the Irwin Center, Arkansas versus Utah, which is, I think, ought to be a really good game. If you get to Texas, that's going to be an awfully difficult thing to pull off. But against Utah in a neutral court, Utah, the one thing about Utah that worries me is their length at the perimeter. All of their starters and the couple players that they have coming off the bench are anywhere from 5'11" to 6'2", 6'3". Those are the teams that have given Arkansas some problems. And if they watch the film of how teams have defended the Razorbacks of late, and I'm sure they have, they may find teams have been able to defend the Razorbacks much better in the last 6 weeks, especially around the three-point line. And they've made it just sometimes impossible for Amber Ramirez to get an open three. And that's pretty important for Ramirez to get loose and get that shooting stroke down from the outside so that hopefully the inside opens up a little bit too. So, but we'll see what happens with that. 4:30 tomorrow at the Frank Irwin Center. And, in this case, it's cool to have the opportunity, since the women's tournament is just like the baseball tournament and softball tournament, where you do have kind of like regional hosts for that first round. What an opportunity it would be if you beat Utah to be able to take on Texas on their home court and hopefully make it the last game. Well, it would be at that point the last game they ever play at the Irwin Center, because they're moving into a smaller building, and if the winner of this little sub-regional goes to Spokane, so the Sunday's game in Austin will be the last time that they ever play a basketball game in the Frank Irwin Center, or at least a college basketball game. So it just would be incredibly cool for Arkansas to have a chance to pull off a major upset in a moment like that. All right, 877-377-6963. Want to remind you, while the games are on, get on over to Twin Peaks and Rogers, your sports headquarters, with 29-degree draft beer always flowing. Kitchen bursts with made-from-scratch fan favorites, and you got the games, every one of them at March Madness, blasting from every single angle. That's the ultimate game day experience in person at Twin Peaks and Rogers. You can visit them online at twinpeaksrogers.com, make a delivery order, or just pick it up yourself. More TVs, bigger screens, and scenic views. More to watch at Twin Peaks. Cody has given us a call here on halftime. Cody, the floor is yours. What's up?
What's up, Cody?
Hey, what's up, guys? Drew, man. How's Buffalo?
Buffalo is amazing, and it's a beautiful day. Sun is shining, birds are singing, the madness is going, and it's a nice 61 degrees for the middle of March instead of 25 and snow. So I feel very blessed.
Hey, I'm also happy to hear what you said during the press conference. Way to kind of get that fire going, get them fired up a little bit, make sure that they are aware of what other people are saying. Phil, you said you read I forget his name, Billis. Yeah, you read Jay Billis's what he said on air about the Razorbacks, or somebody else, I forget.
It was Billis. It was about Vermont being a really good team, shooting a high percentage, and that there's usually a 4-13 upset, so this was the one he was picking. I will tell you, the 4 seed wins 79% of the games against the 13 seed, so that would mean just about one upset per year, nearly one upset per year in the NCAA tournament from the 4-13 seed. And what are your other 4-13 games? I got way too many statistics, way too many brackets going on here, and
You're
I'm
ready
trying
to
to
go.
find the one.
Illinois, Chattanooga, which is the one that I've got. We got Providence, South Dakota State on right now, and then UCLA for Akron.
Okay.
Hey, but here's what I'm getting at, Phil. No, it was something it was somebody else besides Billis. Somebody had said something about Arkansas's neutral site and away game record. Pull up, if you have the statistics in front of you. I mean, I would think a majority of teams' losses come on the road or on a neutral site. To me, that just sounded like some statistic to make to create some kind of drama. Of course, most teams they're lucky to be 500. I think a good team, if they're even 500 on the road, that's a great sign. That's a good basketball team. So I think that's a stupid statistic for a professional media person to actually say. I think a 500
it depends
record
also on the league that you're playing in. I mean, like Vermont on the road went 10-4. They won 8-1 on the road in their league. In the SEC, it's going to be quite a bit different. Arkansas was 5-4 on the road, but keep in mind they didn't play a road game until they got in conference.
True. Here's what I'm getting at ultimately, though, on this game. I'm with you. I think Arkansas wins, and I think Arkansas wins by 10, maybe more. I think what you have to do, this team's they're a three-point shooting team. They're a fundamental team. I think what's happened is Musselman, he teaches fundamentals just as much as recruiting athleticism. In years past, maybe that was a problem. Musselman is so detailed-oriented, he's not worried about that. He's fundamental with athletes. He's got athleticism and fundamentals at the same time. What you're going to see is, as long as Arkansas's athleticism is getting to the hole, drawing fouls, a shooter shoots well when they're in rhythm. If we're shooting a lot of free throws, we're disrupting their offensive flow. Every time they come down, they can't really get in a set. It's slower paced sometimes, and then it's faster paced sometimes. And then we're at the foul line. We get, especially a couple of their guys in foul trouble that aren't going to be able to stay in front of Note. And then, let's say Amude, Jay Will, things like that. I just don't see how they can beat us. They're not going to beat us. I think it was just a trendy, easy pick. Arkansas's too athletic for a team like this. They haven't seen defense like this. We're long. I just don't see it translating into us getting upset. I really don't.
Look, I think Vermont defended incredibly well for the level that they play at, and they don't foul much against those teams. But, they allowed just 8 made free throws per game. Arkansas makes an average of 17 free throws per game. This is how they're going to win the game. This is how Arkansas wins the game, by attacking the basket and it not necessarily getting there. There's going to be contact. There will be contact created. J.D. Notae, like Alyssa brought up the number about how many fouls. If she sees J.D. has 3 fouls, something's gone wrong.
That was awesome.
What about the idea of J.D. Notae getting to the foul line 10 times today? I think that's a legitimate possibility.
And that's how we win. I think that's exactly right. I was impressed with Jeff Long's daughter, and then I thought Alyssa Orange, I think she was dead on. She's right. You think about those last few games we lost. Notae was on the bench in the first half. That's the deciding factor in almost every game, I think. That was a great point. So as long as Notae stays out of foul trouble and things like that, and we get to the foul line, they're going to foul us still. There's no way. I mean, the competition level is going to be completely different. But we're going to be all right. But that's all I wanted to call in and talk about, man. I hope you guys have a good one. And Drew, you stay safe up there. I'm glad you're up there having a good time, man. Y'all take care.
Hey, I appreciate it. It is St. Patty's Day, so I do need to
That's the whole
stay
reason
a little
for
extra
being
safe.
safe, right?
Yeah.
Well, for your sake, I want Arkansas to win so that you can enjoy a little St. Patty's Day parade Saturday. Because
I'll be able to enjoy it Saturday because I'm not getting done with everything here until past midnight. And I joined Ruskin and Zach yesterday, and I was talking about all the different stuff I'm going to have to do today, going back and forth between the arena, my Airbnb, here at Anchor Bar, trying to watch as many games and do the post-game, do the pregame with Ty, and especially as unphysically in shape that I am, this might be the first St. Patty's Day that I pass out somewhere and it'll be completely sober.
Just from walking too much?
Just from
too
walking
much
and trying to run
exertion?
and jog. Because if I miss the shuttle, Phil, then it's a pretty far walk.
So you can't miss the shuttle. They're not going to come back and pick you up. And we're not giving receipts for Ubers and Lyfts now, are we?
I think I can do Uber. I think Tommy will take an Uber too.
Well, our coverage in Buffalo is brought to you by Big Red Stores. Make sure you never pay full price again for gas again at your neighborhood Big Red Store with Big Red Rewards. 877-377-6963. We're going to do some Major League Baseball with Kaite Woo at the bottom of the hour. She is the beat writer for The Athletic for the St. Louis Cardinals. I want to talk some Arkansas baseball, and we got phone calls to get to next as halftime continues.
Will your bracket be better than Tommy, Derek, Ty, Clay, Maddie, Andy, Drew, Phil, Zach, and others? Then prove it. Sign up for the HitThatLine.com Bracket Challenge presented by Buffalo Wild Wings, the Stadium Shop on Razorback, and Crabtree RV in Alma. Registration is easy. Just find the contest on HitThatLine.com. The HitThatLine.com Bracket Challenge is also brought to you in part by Four Courts Wine and Spirits, H&R Block in Northwest Arkansas, Broadway Motors in Van Buren, and National Auto Trim in Harrison. Sign up today at HitThatLine.com.
Get a free furnace when you purchase a qualifying new system from Ashley Air. And there is no down payment, no interest for 72 months on qualifying systems. And you get the Ashley Air Quality Assurance Guarantee, their 12-year parts and labor warranty. Get a free furnace when you purchase a new system from Ashley Air. Just go to AshleyAir.com to schedule your appointment. That's AshleyAir.com. Ashley Air is a proud sponsor of Razorback Athletics.
There's more to a tractor than just horsepower. A tractor also needs weight to get that horsepower to the ground. With TYM, a heavier tractor comes standard. Many of the TYM models weigh more for the horsepower than comparable tractors from the big names. And tractors that weigh more, do more. See Bush Tractor at their new location at 6100 South Zero in Fort Smith, or log on to bushtractor.com to see how they can upgrade your productivity.
March is here at Frank Rowe Furniture, and it's my birthday month. Since it's my birthday month, I'm having a big sale with hundreds of dollars off savings on furniture. Not only are we offering big savings, you won't pay a dime on sales tax. That's right, No sales tax on cash or finance prices. I'm not done. We are knocking off $25 on all deliveries. In-store no credit check financing, family owned and service after the sale. Frank Rowe Furniture. Best seats in the house.
When you want beer, you go to a bar. When you want top shelf spirits, wines, handcrafted cocktails, and cigars, in an atmosphere benefiting a destination, you go to 906 Cocktail and Cigar Lounge. Try our new menu items including fish and chips, classic club sandwiches, Caesar and Cobb salads, or stick to your favorites, dine in or carry out. Enjoy our state-of-the-art air filtration system. 906 Cocktail and Cigar Lounge, defining nightlife in downtown Fort Smith. Doors open at 4 Tuesday through Saturday.
Don't miss our $1 million buy-in event during the month of March at Wheeler Power Sports in Fort Smith. We will trade for or buy your current motorcycle, ATV, or side-by-side. Call or text our sales department to make a reservation today. 479-668-0057. We already have the biggest selection of power sports vehicles in the area, but we need more. Wheeler Power Sports, family-owned and operated for over 50 years and located in historic downtown Fort Smith. Keeping the good times rolling.
Late breaking news. Central Hydraulics has teamed up with Wacker Neuson to meet your ever-growing equipment needs. Wacker Neuson offers loaders, excavators, skid steers, telehandlers, and more. Central Hydraulics is also your Gates Hydraulic Hose Center. Stop by today at 6104 Highway 271 South in Fort Smith. Central Hydraulics, helping you move the world.
Michelob Ultra Organic Seltzer opens like every other seltzer. Pours like every other seltzer. But it's not like every other seltzer. USDA certified organic, no added sugar, and low cal. So you've never seen another seltzer quite like it. And with new refreshing flavors like black cherry and watermelon strawberry, you've never tasted one like it either. Michelob Ultra Organic Seltzer, as real as it tastes. Enjoy responsibly, not a low-calorie food. Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Organic Seltzer, IRC Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3. On the road to the Final Four with the Hogs is brought to you by Oaklawn Racing Casino Resort Sportsbook, Arkansas Scholarship Lottery, and Big Red Stores of Arkansas. Make sure to follow Halftime on Twitter at HitThatLineAR and on Facebook and Instagram at HitThatLine. Follow the guys on Twitter at PhilElsonPXP, at Matt Travis, and at DBarrett36. Now, back to the guys. Here's Phil Elson, Matty T, and Drew Barrett.
We do have a caller on hold, and we will get to him in a moment. You may be, or he hung up, but you can call right back.
Wow, Blake.
Wow, you called just as the break started, 877-377-6963.
And he was in Hot Springs, too, where they're having some kind of St. Patrick's Day parade today. It's a very short
parade. That's right. They have the shortest ever. The shortest St. Patrick's Day parade is in Hot Springs.
But I
it's
saw they
a block long, right?
Yeah, they got Cheech Marin and
feet.
Danny Trejo there today.
Wow,
Danny Trejo is in Hot Springs, Arkansas.
I mean, but let's be honest. Danny Trejo, have you seen some of the movies he makes? The guy will do anything. I mean, God bless him. He's
that's true, but he's still like Danny Trejo.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
So Danny Trejo, it means more to you that it's Danny Trejo than Cheech Marin.
I would not say that. I'd say I'm a bigger Cheech fan.
Yeah, but you see, Drew doesn't even know who Cheech is. I think he's just into Danny Trejo.
No, he was in Tin Cup, Drew.
Yeah, I know who Cheech Marin is. He was the caddy in Tin Cup.
He was also in From Dusk Till Dawn with one of the most memorable lines of all time that we cannot say on this radio show right now. You can't.
I don't know if I've seen that one.
You can't do it. See the movie. Don't say the lines here about what he says he's selling inside his club.
Okay.
Hey, you might be getting out and doing some fishing this weekend or next week with spring break in full swing. Make sure you've got the Baby Garland Baby Shad in your tackle box, the #1 volume lure from Pratco Fishing in Fort Smith. That's out of the 20 fishing brands they make. The Bobby Garland Baby Shad is the most popular, made by the millions in Fort Smith. And you can fish it on a light jig head or underneath the float. You'll find it's productive as live bait. Find the Bobby Garland Baby Shad at Walmart, Bass Pro Shops Academy, LearnNet.com, and tackle stores all over the place. Or as my cousin Nate would call it, the Bobby Garland Baby Shad. That's exactly
Can
what
he
a
hear
Bostonian.
you doing your?
He's sitting
that
right here
terrible
in front of
Boston
me. He's sitting right here in front of me wearing his outfit, going his scrubs. They call those scrubs, right? Yeah. You think I'm in medicine?
Yeah.
We call it a
doctor
uniform
thing?
in sports. I don't know what you guys call it in medicine, but I do know we've got Cecil and Fort Smith on hold, so let's take the call. Hi, Cecil.
Hey, what's up, fellas? It's been a few years since I even been on the radio. This pandemic, divorce, you name it, man. You know, but I'm a diehard hog. And hey, Drew, I want to ask you a question. Do you remember a guy pull up on you at the casino and took a selfie with you?
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah,
I
just
still
about
got
what?
the picture,
About a
man.
month ago?
Which casino was this?
No, it's been a minute, man. It's been a few years ago.
Oh, then I might be drawing a blank then.
Was this in Tunica?
Have you ever been to Roland?
I don't think so.
Cherokee.
Drew's yet to go to any of the Oklahoma casinos, haven't you?
No, I went to one a few months ago, or a month or two ago, with Ty and Billy and a few of other mutual friends.
There must be a doppelganger of Reverend Paul Andrew Barrett.
Somebody's pretending to be Drew. This was stolen identity.
What sort of table were you with this fraud, this non-Drew Barrett?
Well, I just pulled up and took a selfie because I know who he was. That's all. Hey, but anyway, we have a really good basketball program, and actually we have a good program, period. Girls, boys, baseball, basketball, everything. It's going on up on the hill. But, I've watched the games, and he's box office to me. If he play a game like he played in Kentucky all through this tournament, I think we can make it to the finals. I actually have Jay Williams. He's from Fort Smith, and I've been knowing him since he was a kid, and he's been at it since the boys club, and he plays his position really well, and I know he's going to do a great thing in the NBA. But if everybody play their position, my opinion, and fellas, don't laugh at me when I say this, but I honestly think Vanover should get in certain games. I think he should play in certain games. I'm not saying every game, but in certain games, he changed the whole flow matter of you know how they when you go watch a team like Vermont, we play in Vermont, so we go to the film room, we watching them. Okay, so. He's a defect in the game because he's 7'2". He can shoot free throws great, and he got a good jump shot. I know he's really skinny.
Understood, Cecil, but, I mean, that train got off at the station a long time ago for Connor Vanover. He has not even gotten on the court in 2 months. His last game, he only played 2 minutes. It was against South Carolina 2 months ago. So, and I understand what you're saying, too. But it just doesn't seem like Connor Vanover has been in any of the plans recently. I'd be incredibly surprised if he's in any of the plans for the NCAA tournament, the games that matter more than the regular season games.
I mean, the guy hasn't played since November.
Yeah.
Right?
We have a really good team, and we're in the bracket. I actually looked it over. It's kind of a rocky road getting to the finals, but I think we can make it to the Final Four. I really think we. And that song y'all play a lot, Arkansas, that whatever it is. I'm trying to learn it. I need the lyrics because I like it.
Man, I thought
really
you all of a
like
sudden
it.
were just going to hit it there.
Hey, man, that's a hit, man. That's a hit. But anyway, go Hogs, man. I enjoy. Listen to me. I got y'all. I own a graphic business in Fort Smith, and I got my big intercom on when I come to the building. I leave the one up front on, so when I walk in, I hear y'all. When I get in the car, I hear y'all. When I get in my other car, I hear y'all. When I go home, I hear y'all.
Well, Cecil,
Go
we hear you loud and
appreciate
clear
you
right
listening,
now, and we hope to hear you loud and clear again. We appreciate you taking us around throughout your day.
Appreciate the call, man.
And definitely appreciate the call. Which Arkansas song do you think he was referring to?
Was it the Chris Stapleton song?
I don't know.
No, I was thinking it's more the.
Was it
the Hit That Line?
Russia
Was it
and
the alma
Sack
mater?
are two insane skies?
Yeah, that one.
No, I think it's the one that Ruskin and Zach played. The With the pig with horns.
The Robert Goulet song. The Robert
You
Goulet
say
ESPN
they
college
were
basketball
playing a
promo.
game today.
See,
Yeah.
we've got like 5 different Arkansas songs that get played here on this very
yeah,
station, so I'm not
big
quite
zoo.
sure exactly the one that Cecil meant. But he sounded like a dyed-in-the-wool Razorback fan. It's just if he calls back and sings whatever song it was, we'll know just how hardcore he was.
In Cecil's defense, I have been told that I have doppelgangers, and this is back when I was in college. I was at Silky O'Sullivan's, which is proper for the day like St. Patty's Day. It's where I would be if I was in Memphis, Tennessee right now. But a guy came up to me and he's like, "You look just like my best friend." I was like, "You got a handsome best friend then." He's like, "I will buy you a shot of anything you want and a beer if you'll just take a selfie with me." I was like, "All right." And then he continued to just bring me shots all night because he was just so amazed how much me and his best friend looked like. He showed me a picture. This dude looked nothing like me. He had to have been super hammered and seeing 3 of me because we did not look alike whatsoever.
It's weird that
I got free alcohol out of it.
It's weird that his best friend fell out of an ugly tree and hit every branch on the way down.
I love that.
See,
now,
that hurts.
Apparently, Cecil was talking about the Robert Goulet song, and we've got 3 texts in from listeners. Nobody knows how to spell Robert Goulet's name correctly. We've got B.E. that referred to it as – no, we've got Jody that referred to him as Bob Gullout. Chris in Fayetteville said Bob Goulette. And what's this one? Bradford said Bob Goulet, G-O-U-L-E-Y.
Is it G-O-U-L-E-T? Okay.
Yes, and it's Robert. I don't know.
Not Bob. He's you're not his best friend.
I always remember from the.
We'll call him Bobbert then.
Well, first of all, I just remember Robert Goulet from that promo and from Beetlejuice and from a song in the on stage production called A Chorus Line. That's I don't know if I saw anything else with Robert Goulet other than those 3 things. And Goulet was not in A Chorus Line. He was just a lyric in the song on that show. Anyway, we got to take a break. We're going to talk baseball, Cardinals baseball specifically, with Kaite Woo from The Athletic after this on Halftime.
To me, prettiest place I ever saw was back home in Arkansas.
Sports fans, it's March Madness. Where are you going to bet? I know where I will. BUSR, of course. NCAA basketball, NBA, MLB, you name it, they got it. Besides sports and racing, you can play over 300 casino games at BUSR.com. And remember, no download is needed to play these games. Sign up today and get an exclusive 100% deposit bonus by going to BUSR.com/morningrush. That's BUSR.com/morningrush.
Support for the Hit That Line Podcast Network is brought to you by Manscaped, who is the best in men's below-the-waist grooming. Manscaped offers precision-engineered tools for your family jewels. Manscaped recently launched the Ultimate Men's Hygiene Bundle, the Performance Package. Join over 4 million men worldwide who trust Manscaped with this exclusive offer to you. 20% off and free worldwide shipping with the code HTL at manscaped.com. If my math is correct, that's about 8 million balls. And my family jewels just got added into that number because I just got my new Performance Package 4.0. And let me tell you what, guys, it is a game changer. If you're like me, you've tried other ways of daily grooming, of staying in shape, of when that time is right, you know what I mean, of how to make sure you look good down there. You've tried the razors, you've tried the knockoff brands, but it does not compare to what you're going to get in the Performance Package 4.0 by Manscaped. You're going to get the Lawnmower 4.0 trimmer. You're going to get the Weed Whacker ear and nose hair trimmer, the Crop Preserver ball deodorant, Crop Reviver toner, Performance boxer briefs, and a travel bag for all your goodies. Trust me, I didn't think there was going to be a product out there that was going to make it safe to go down there. But with the Lawnmower 4.0 and everything else that comes in this package from Manscaped, you're going to be shaving and grooming so much safer. Get that 20% off and free shipping with the code HTL at manscaped.com. That's 20% off with free shipping at manscaped.com and use HTL. Unlock your confidence and always use the right tools for the job with Manscaped.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
Now that's a dandy white perch.
Old slab. C'est bon, sacalé.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouth. Some serious crappie. Nice speck.
We got crappie.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite white perch, slab, sockeye, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
Jason Aldean says there's only two means of salvation around here that seem to work: whiskey or the Bible, shot glass or revival. He doesn't want to be stuck in these two ruts. He needs something in between to fulfill his dreams. Hebrews 7:25 says, Jesus is able to save completely those who draw near to God through him. Don't trust your spiritual strut or placing your butt in a church pew or bar stool, because all three will lie to you. I'm Pastor Heath from Woodland. Think about it.
It's that time of year as college basketball takes center stage with the tournament finally upon us. If you're looking to wager this year, BetOnline is the #1 spot for all your updated odds and info, along with great contests, including the bracket contest, where you can have a chance to take home the top prize. Head over to the website or use your mobile device to sign up today and receive your 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. Just use our promo code BELIEVE to get started. That's BLEAV.
On 99.5 and 1290 in Northwest Arkansas, 95.3 in Fort Smith in the River Valley, 96.3 in Hot Springs in Central Arkansas, 104.3 in Harrison and Mountain Home, and everywhere on hitthatline.com. Now, back to the guys. Here's Phil Elson, Matty T, and Drew Barrett.
We're just so excited that the ownership in baseball and the Major League Players Association have finally decided that they'd like to play games this year. Saw that they just put 30 doubleheaders on the schedule to make up the games that they missed from the lockout. But hey, we're going to forget about the lockout for now. We're going to talk baseball, Cardinals baseball, with Kaite Woo, who covers the Cardinals for The Athletic, and always appreciate Katie's time. Katie, I know you just got to be happy to be in spring training with real baseball to cover, because for 99 days, it's like, have fun writing about what?
Yeah, that's exactly how I felt, you know. It just, at the risk of being a walking cliche, there is just something so special about spring baseball. And I think the 99 gruesome days without really anything going on in the sport has made spring just a little bit more special this time around.
Absolutely. So I was about to say, it looked like the Cardinals haven't necessarily made any like big moves like we've seen in this frenzy of trades and some free agent signings yet. And I don't know if I'd say that this is a major move or anything, but they signed an outfielder today. Corey Dickerson has signed a deal with the Cardinals. And, the outfield, young outfield, but this does add some experience to it. And the outfield play this year, and specifically I think the bats of Carlson and of Harrison Bader, are pretty important for St. Louis to what I think they should do, which is contend with Milwaukee for that division crown.
Yeah, so the Corey Dickerson deal is on a one-year deal. It's not official yet. It's still pending a physical, but when it does pass, I think the expectation is that Corey Dickerson will come in and kind of balance out a young but, at this point, very experienced outfield and provide some roster fluidity. With new manager Ollie Marmol, when he took over the helm from Mike Schilt, it was expected that he would be a little bit more hands-on in playing the matchups and playing the platoons and playing the splits than what we've seen from Cardinals teams in previous years. So I think the Corey Dickerson signing, while it admittedly wasn't on anyone's radar really, and it does seem like a good signing, I think it provides a little bit more, like I said, roster fluidity and just more options for a Cardinals squad that, theoretically should be contending with Milwaukee if they can all stay healthy and pull the right pieces at the right time.
Well, you mentioned Marmol, and it feels like years ago that Mike Schilt was not retained and Ollie Marmol was hired as the manager. And I just wonder, what is the difference between the two? Marmol is a longtime Cardinal coach, and they still have longtime Cardinal guys on the coaching staff. You know, guys like Okendo and Willie McGee, and you got Pop Warner at third base and Stubby Clapp at first base. I mean, these are guys that are all steeped in the Cardinal way. So what's the difference between a Mike Shildt and an Ollie Marmol?
You know, I think that while Ollie and Mike Shildt had such a close relationship while Shildt was the manager, I think Ollie kind of brings his own style and his own dynamic to this clubhouse. Obviously, we haven't seen him manage a Major League game yet. We will see that in a spring way tomorrow when the Cardinals open against Houston here at Roger Dean Stadium. But what I think Ollie brings that is perhaps a little different is he understands the culture of this organization, obviously being a longtime coach here, but he also understands how to communicate. And he's a younger guy with a fresh voice and fresh ideas, and I think that is a strong suit for the Cardinals in this aspect alone. I mean, when we talk to Ollie just these 4 days since camp is open, he has really stressed the importance of honest conversations and having sometimes difficult but necessary conversations in that clubhouse to make sure the culture is that winning culture that he has come to know so well, being in this organization for as long as he has. So I think that's what makes Ollie different. I think he's a little bit more analytically minded than maybe managers prior. And I think above all, he knows how to have those conversations so that everyone's on the same page and there is no questioning, there is no second guessing. He's there every day, able to communicate. And I think that goes a long way, especially in this condensed spring when things are admittedly very hectic.
Yeah, and Katie, you mentioned a little bit earlier about the Cardinals staying healthy. What's the latest on their Cardinals pitcher, Jack Flaherty? What's going on with him and his shoulder situation?
So the Cardinals haven't released too much information about Jack Flaherty. They did say that they're supposed to be their rising ace this year. Did get a second opinion on his throwing shoulder. This is the same shoulder that he suffered a strain from in the last part of 2021, his second substantial injury of the 2021 season. You know, the primary thing is that they aren't quite sure what this is. Remember, teams were prohibited from having any contact with their pitchers for nearly 100 days. So they weren't able to keep tabs on him during the offseason. They weren't able to kind of see where he was at, what he was dealing with. He couldn't have any access to the medical team. So I really do think they're just trying to be as cautionary as possible here. The last thing you want is one of your most prized players, not just in the rotation, but in the organization, being rushed when he's not ready or when you're not 100% sure. I think what they're doing here is just making sure they're checking all the boxes. Hopefully there is an update by tonight or tomorrow. But we did talk to Ollie today, and he says that they are preparing 2 separate tracks. They're preparing for a track moving forward with Jack Flaherty and one without. Obviously, they hope that it's the one with him.
Mm-hmm. And the Cardinals have had so many good names and so many great baseball players in that organization in the last few years that it feels like they've underperformed, at least the last 4 or 5 years. Because you got a Hall of Fame guy like Yadier Molina behind the plate. He's aging, but you get a Nolan Arenado, you get a few other guys that feel like big time names, and it just hasn't really all come together. What's going to be different this year from what we've seen in years past, where the talent is there, but the wins just haven't come the way they should have?
I think the biggest difference for the Cardinals team this season is that the talent, as I said, has always been there, but now they have the experience. And I almost feel like the 2021 season was beneficial for them because for the first time in a long time, they've really underperformed their fan bases and their organization's lofty expectations. And with the Cardinals, that doesn't happen very often. They're usually a team that meets expectations, that plays good, clean baseball, and you had a whole bunch of talented guys just collectively not be able to click for the majority of the season. But I think what really sparked them was their September. I mean, we saw how good this team can be when things are clicking, when everyone is playing right, the potential that they have. Their defense has never really been a question. Their bats are improving as the starting pitching can stay healthy, and I know that's a big concern, not just for the Cardinals, but for teams in general. But I think that they know that they have the ability to win, and they have the ability to be a playoff team, and they have the experience now to learn what happens if those things start to falter, how to turn it around.
Well, I mean, there's going to be pressure to win in St. Louis no matter what, because it's a baseball town, and the Cardinals are, they have been the preeminent organization in the National League for a long time now. I know the Dodgers have had it maybe for the last 10 years, but historically I think it's been St. Louis. There's a little bit more, I don't know if I'd say pressure to it now, but this is Yadi's last season. You got a few months to prepare for all the emotion of this Cardinal legend that will retire as a St. Louis Cardinal. But I mean, you got to win in his last year, right? I mean, that's pretty important for that legacy too.
No, I would agree. And, of course, Yachty isn't actually at camp yet. He's dealing with some personal reasons, but the Cardinals certainly hope he'll be here soon so he can get back to what it will be the end of a legacy career. But you can also say the same for Adam Wainwright. Though Wainwright obviously has not said if he plans to retire after the season or not. We can almost guarantee this is the last season of Yachty and Wainwright together, and I think that's just as important. But more importantly, I think this expectation for this organization that has been so close to winning for multiple seasons is to just do it now. I mean, the front office has had 2022 circled as prime year of contention for a while now, and it's finally here. Their top prospects are knocking at the door. They have their outfield that they envisioned that took a while to get. They have their third baseman of the future that they hope, and they have what they believe is a very solid starting pitching staff if they can stay healthy. So I really do think that the Cardinals think that 2022 is their year. The clubhouse certainly acts this way. And I know every team, all 30 teams, have optimism in spring, but for the Cardinals, I really think this is the year where they must win.
Real quick, you mentioned the starting pitching there, and so they signed Steven Matz, the left-hander from the Mets, in November before the lockdown occurred. But, I mean, Dakota Hudson, I remember watching Hudson pitch at Mississippi State, and he had a couple of pretty good years his first 2 seasons for St. Louis. And obviously last year shut down. I feel like Dakota Hudson should be a major piece. If the Cardinals win the division this year, I think Dakota Hudson has had a big year too.
I would agree with you. Actually, when the Cardinals opened camp, I pegged Dakota Hudson as the breakout player of the year this season for the team. He has all the stuff. Obviously, he missed almost the entirety of the 2021 season recovering from Tommy John, but the fact that he was able to get back to a major league mound in 12 months post-surgery and see just the limited success because he only had about 2 appearances last year, but then be able to build off that throughout the offseason. You know, he threw a live BP today, and he looks really sharp. I think the Cardinals and both the Cardinals and Dakota Hudson expect him to play a huge part in that rotation. And it certainly is exciting to look where he left off before Tommy John. He certainly seems to be on the rise of young pitchers there, and the expectations from him haven't changed.
Yeah, Katie, I don't know if you grew up a Cardinals fan or that was your real team growing up, but Phil is a Pirates fan. I'm an Orioles fan. He's obviously been waiting since '79 for their last World Series. I've been waiting since '83, and the quote-unquote best fans in baseball, like they like to call themselves, have only been waiting 11 years. And here's their complaints and the grumblings of the last 11 season. You would think that it was 111 years. Do you ever feel like the expectations in St. Louis are too lofty and it is kind of an unrealistic fan base at sometimes?
You know, I can certainly understand the outside perspective there because I just think each fandom has a different culture, right? I mean, obviously, if you're a Yankees fan, your culture is different from if you are a Rockies fan, just based on the history of the club. So while it may make sense that this Cardinals fan base can overreact, when it comes to the culture of this organization and the history and the lofty expectations they've had throughout their rich, storied history, it makes sense why fans are demanding that there is a better product in 2021. It makes sense that fans are never satisfied just because that's the culture this club has instilled. So it can certainly go both ways. I do know that anytime I hear or I go on the radio and say, well, it has been 12 years since the Cardinals won a World Series, I can feel the collective eye roll of 29 other fan bases, and I do understand that. But for this fan base, I think it certainly makes sense just based on what this club has done throughout its history.
Look, I give Cardinal fans a hard time for the best fans in baseball thing, but I know they're great baseball fans, and they have a franchise that's worth rooting for. I don't. The Pirates, the Pirates give up. They gave up. The Reds gave up. They've traded. They've traded everybody that seems to matter.
I know Cardinals fans are happy about that. I'm looking at the Reds and everyone that really kind of killed the Cardinals offensively last year from that Cincinnati team is gone. There's just Joey Votto left and Jonathan India. So I know Cardinals fans are happy about it. Reds fans probably feeling the same as Oakland fans right now.
But it's a statement of what the organization is about. Like when you talk, one of these things that the whole lockout was about on the player side is they don't want teams to tank anymore. And then look at what happens right after the agreement is signed. Oakland trades half the team away, goes right into rebuilding mode. They were a playoff team recently. So were the Reds, for crying out loud. The Pirates are perpetually in rebuilding mode. Take your choice. The Orioles, the same thing. The Cardinals would never dream of quote-unquote tanking. Never.
Never. And I think that's one thing the fans do appreciate about this organization is that tanking is never really in their vocabulary. Their bare minimum expectation is a 90-win season. And that's why I think fans expect that, because when you have a front office that publicly comes out and says, 90 wins is the bare minimum to measure good success, fans are going to respond accordingly to that.
Yeah, they are. And with a 90-win minimum and, obviously the expectations of turning it around this year and possibly making that first World Series in 12 years, how troublesome is it to look out west and see the Freddie Freeman news of him wearing the Dodger blue? I mean, is that making anybody second guess that this year is going to be this year, knowing that you're going to have to go through what was already a star-studded lineup with the Dodgers, but now adding Freddie Freeman, it almost feels like it's over before it even starts.
Yeah. I certainly think that there's daunting lineups out there. The Dodgers, the Mets. If you look at how teams are revamping, I don't want to forget about the Blue Jays. I think they're a very underrated team. But, each team is going to operate differently. And I certainly feel more for teams in the NL West than the rest of the National League. I feel for the Giants and the Padres that are going to have to go through that lineup in L.A. multiple times throughout the season. But I think it's just kind of like the beauty of baseball is anyone can beat anyone on a given day.
That's true. That's one of the things we love about the sport. Katie, we'll leave you with that. Really appreciate your time and your work at The Athletic covering the Cardinals. Enjoy the rest of spring training and the start of the games that matter.
Guys, thank you so much, and enjoy the day, and enjoy getting back to baseball. It does feel good.
Got that right.
Hey, I appreciate it,
We'll
Katie.
most definitely do that. That's Kaite Woo. She covers the St. Louis Cardinals for The Athletic. You can give her a follow on Twitter. That's at Katie J. Woo. And if you want to give us a call, it's 877-377-6963. Brought to you by Riley Farm Dental. That's Dr. Bo Sparkman and Dr. Brogan, serving to give patients better lives and comfortable experiences with all dental procedures provided, braces, implants, cosmetics, and everything else. They've been voted top 3 best of the best every year since 2017. And right there at the entrance of Riley Farms at Highway 71. That's Riley Farm Dental, RileyFarmDental.com. 226-3500, or visit them at 5901 Riley Park Drive, Suite A. Wrapping up halftime next.
Gray Steel Structures Incorporated is a family-owned business based in Greenwood specializing in steel structures. Owner Will Gray has 20 years experience doing the job right and making sure you're satisfied with the structure you have a need for. Gray Steel Structures serves both commercial and residential customers. Whatever your need may be, mini storage, RV storage, home workshop, or any metal building need, make Gray Steel Structures your first call. Gray Steel Structures, 252-2783. That's 252-2783.
GraySteelStructuresInc.com. That's Gray with an A.
It's the March Madness Blowout Sale going on right now at Harry Robinson Salisaw Ford, 1 mile south of exit 308 off of I-40 in Salisaw. Troy, you got some slam dunk deals. You need to sell 50 before the end of the month.
Hey, 50. I wish it was 50. We need to sell 60. We need to sell 60 units by the end of this month. If you are in the market, if you're even thinking about buying, right now is the time to buy. Get down here to Harry Robinson Salisaw Ford, the March Madness Blowout Sale. We got to sell 60 units by the end of this month.
And you got them priced just right to make this sale happen.
Definitely. You know, Ford's doing truck month this month. Every one of our trucks out here on the lot, we've got every one of them discounted down. And we still have the manager special row that has thousands and thousands of dollars in savings. So we are where you want to buy your next vehicle. Come and see us.
It's the March Madness Blowout Sale. They have to sell 60 before the month is out at Harry Robinson Salisaw Ford. Easy to get to, 1 mile south of exit 308 off of I-40 in Salisaw, and always online at harryrobinson.com.
Takes great work ethic to make any job last 10 years, especially one in the NFL. Hi, this is Brett Good with Henderson Phillips. I spent 10 years playing in the NFL. Now I bring that same work ethic to Henderson Phillips to provide you and your business with the best employee benefit plans for the best prices. Call or text me at 479-651-2292, and let's talk about getting the most value for your employee benefits. I am Brett Good with Henderson Phillips. Call me today at 479-651-2292.
Everyone loves great Tex-Mex. The best Tex-Mex around is at Joe's Grill and Cantina. Tex-Mex brisket nachos, Mexican pizza, pork belly tacos, and the best fajitas in town. And when the Hogs are on TV, it's always half-price apps and taps. Your favorite drinks and the best Tex-Mex in town is at Joe's Grill and Cantina, 3400 South 74th Street, across from Harps.
Building a home can be stressful. This is true whether you're the homeowner or the contractor. Many times these issues result in a lawsuit. If you are a homeowner or a contractor and find yourself needing legal help, call the attorneys at Kevin Hickey Law Partner. With experience representing homeowners as well as non-payment or other issues that could arise during construction. Contact Brad Holt or Kevin Hickey at 479-434-2414 in the River Valley or 479-802-6560 in Northwest Arkansas. Or check them out at the web at artriallawyers.com.
Have you been looking for your next place to call home and just haven't found the right one? Then it's time to check out the properties at Trinity Multifamily. With a variety of apartments, duplexes, townhomes, and houses, there is surely one to fit your needs. Whether it's in the River Valley, Northwest Arkansas, or Central Arkansas that you are looking at, they have you covered. Give them a call today. Trinity Multifamily, 479-452-1817. That's 479-452-1817. Or online at trinitymultifamily.com to search rental properties near you.
Arkansas Glass and Mirror Company has 2 locations, 1316 South Zero and 200 South Zero Street in Fort Smith, serving the glass and glazing needs of Fort Smith, Northwest Arkansas, and Eastern Oklahoma, commercial and residential. Tub and shower enclosures, mirrors, glass table, and countertops cut to custom size are just a few services offered by Arkansas Glass and Mirror Company. Arkansas Glass and Mirror stocks laminate glass, plexiglass, Lexan, window glass, and mirror and plate glass. For more information, call 646-4300. That's 646-4300.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3. On the road to the Final Four with the Hogs is brought to you by Oaklawn Racing Casino Resort Sportsbook, Arkansas Scholarship Lottery, and Big Red Stores of Arkansas.
Hey, where did we go? Days when the rains came down in the hollow, playing a new game, laughing and a running, hey, hey, skipping and a jumping.
You're listening to Halftime with Phil Elson, Matty T, and Drew Barrett. Want to jump in the conversation with the guys? Call or text into Halftime at 877-377-6963.
Happy St. Patrick's Day. Great place to celebrate the evening would be at 906 Cocktail and Cigar Lounge tonight. They're celebrating St. Patrick's Day with Jessica Ellison and Earl and Them from 7 until 10. Go to their Facebook page for other events over the weekend. Of course, it'd be a great place to watch the Arkansas basketball game as well. 906 Cocktail and Cigar Lounge, place for a great cigar, a great drink, and a place that you're not going to smell like your cigar either because the air is replaced every 4 minutes at 906 Garrison Avenue, 906lounge.com. And we appreciate all of their time with us here on Halftime. And wrapping things up here on this St. Patrick's Day. Drew, have they done any green beers for you yet? Have you eaten anything green yet? You told us you'd eat green, and it can't be some sauce on wings. And by the way,
I did have something green
counts.
today.
Celery counts.
I've been told it didn't, but I did eat green today. I had some jalapeno poppers.
Who told you that celery, which is green, does not count as some green food?
My mother. She told me I'd eat something green this week, and that celery with the wings didn't count.
What does she want you to eat? Green beans, broccoli, lettuce? Peas?
I'm guessing that those healthy vegetables and stuff.
I have a feeling if you're not going to eat the celery that comes with your wings, you're not eating any other vegetables this week.
Yeah, and
she should be
like
happy.
Celery.
Oh, you don't?
No, I will. I do like it when places give you little raw carrots. I do eat the carrots.
Now, see, I like when I get the celery, I try to get some of the wing sauce on the celery, and I feel like that helps it go down.
It's a little watery flavor boat for you.
Yeah, it is.
Just throw some cheese on it.
The taste just doesn't do it for me because there really isn't any.
Do you like the stringy texture of it?
You can yank the stringy stuff out of it. The little veins, you can pull that stuff out. You don't have to get the chewy stuff in you. It's okay.
Yeah, pull the strings out and pretend like it's string cheese. Except it's celery.
Delicious, delicious. Providence is taking care of South Dakota State right now, up 14. They got about 16 minutes left. A lot of time in that ball game. Remember, they're 79% win rate for the 4 seeds in the NCAA men's basketball tournament. So 1 out of 4 of the 4 seeds is probably going to lose a game, in this first round? Will it be Illinois? Will it be Providence? Providence has that comfortable lead. Will it be UCLA against Akron, or will it be Arkansas? And I got to tell you, like, I feel more confident about Arkansas than the other 3-4 seeds. So I don't think it's going to be the Razorbacks. Apparently it's not going to be Providence. And you are thinking it's Illinois. Illinois was number 1 in the country at one point this year, and now they're a 4th seed, which isn't bad. Don't get me wrong.
It's not bad, but I just feel like they haven't been playing the best basketball lately, and maybe I'm a little biased because the missus is a alum of the University of Tennessee, Chattanooga. But I think the Mocs have got a talented team. I've got actually them in my Sweet 16. They're my big Cinderella team this year.
That's pressure. So how far have you put Alabama on the West bracket, because that's where all of her family went to school and they're all Alabama fans. So if you're going to suck up on one side, you're going to suck up on the other side of the bracket too.
I have Alabama losing in the round of 32 to Texas Tech.
That's a bold thing to do to your potential future in-laws, Drew.
Well, if Alabama can't shoot the 3, then it's not going to go well. And Texas Tech has played very good this season. So, I'm not going to, call the future father-in-law and yell, go Red Raiders at him or anything like that.
Start talking talk smack, man. That's what I heard Ty and his father on the Morning Rush today. His father was like, well, they didn't talk crap at each other last year. Why not? You're losing a great opportunity to talk smack to family members. It doesn't happen very often.
But technically we're not family yet, and the man still is a FBI agent. So let's slow our roll here, Phil.
Yeah, what are the charges, sir? Talking smack against the Alabama Crimson Tide. That's enough. That would be enough.
I'm pretty sure you could get a judge to write that warrant.
All right, so what do you have going on the rest of the day? I got to get to Austin. I got to get to Austin, which is about 2.5 hours away from downtown Dallas, so it should be a nice, easy drive. The team, I think, is practicing right now at the Irwin Center. So when are you headed over to Key Arena or Key Center?
Well, I'm going to probably sit here for about another 20, 30 minutes, watch the first half of my alma mater, or as Kevin and Fort Smith's friends calls it, the University of Memphis State, which is not the correct title of the university. And I'll watch the first half of that. Then I'm headed over to KeyBank Center to watch Iowa versus Richmond. And we'll kind of just go from there. Got to kind of locate a spot down near that way where I can set up for the pregame show that me and Ty will be doing right here on all 4 stations and hitthatline.com. Right after Ruskin and Zach finish up at 7, we'll take you up all the way to Chuck and Coach Z's pregame show. So got to kind of scout a location like that, watch much basketball as possible, figure out the ideal time to drink a green beer and take a shot of Jameson. And
this sounds like heaven, Drew. Sounds like you were in Reverend Paul Andrew Barrett heaven.
Hey, this is my happy place. This is my Disney World, as you would say. This is truly my happiness. I woke up this morning, Phil, and I looked in the mirror and I said, "You're going to the tournament today."
Did you wink at yourself after you said that?
Oh, of course, because I'm a handsome little devil.
You just loved the way you looked this morning, didn't you, Drew? It was that twinkle in your eye because you knew that you were in heaven today.
There was something special going on.
Yeah, it is a sports fan's one of their most favorite days of the year, these next 2. All right, we've made it to the end of it, and should be a fun day. And go Hogs, right? Let's move on to that round of 32, and then we'll worry about it on Saturday. For Drew and for Maddie, I'm Phil. Get up, get out, and get better.
At Southern Tire Mart, we look out for you and your